All right. Oops. Okay, everyone. I don't know if I should play some music before people get in here. I'll just do a little blurb for people watching later on YouTube. So, anytime on my channel I do some educational content, like some Japanese language instructional stuff or some programming stuff, it usually turns out to be a lot of work. But then, I'm let off the hook by the fact that nobody watches it. So I don't feel any obligation to continue. Because the day before yesterday, we did a stream where I was teaching some coding basics, and I gave it a weird title, so maybe people didn't click on it because they didn't know what it was, but the interest in it didn't seem very high. We were making a game. I was trying to show people how to make a game of this level of complexity, just text and UI elements and some game logic and stuff. Some people, I guess, found it interesting, or at least they humored me, which I appreciate. But yeah, it doesn't look like we'll continue with it. Anyway, first first a message from our sponsors. If you like any of the content on this channel, or if you're just feeling magnanimous, search for Renfield Patreon, and I'd appreciate your support. We're making a game that is basically like Corruption of Champions or Trials in Tainted Space, but it will be in full 3D. And you'll go out and you'll fight and you'll adventure and you'll explore, and then there's also sexual content. But it's going to be all 3D animation. And yeah, it has a lot of potential, but we do need some backers. And if there's something in particular that you want to see, because I'm not the type to ask for money for nothing, go ahead and commission some content. Any kind of scene a character you want to make, a fetish that you have, an idea for an adventure, an idea for a little story or subplot. I'm basically treating Renfield as a canvas, and if you request something that's like really theme inappropriate, that's fine anyway. We'll just sort of hide it as an Easter egg so that it doesn't contaminate the immersion of players who are enjoying other aspects of the story. So anything goes. Anything goes. So let's go ahead and load up our data. We got load game, slot 1. And oh yeah, let's get our avatar. Let's get our avatar. I don't really like that. Oh yeah, that's right. We did this a little bit differently last time. How did we let's see if I add this. This is excuse me. Add source, screen capture. Now, will this layer get lost, I wonder, when we turn this back on? Yeah, it does. Oh well. Then what we'll have to do is oh, this isn't going to work now because of the way I've set it up. Darn. I'm going to have to reconstruct the whole doggone scene. Okay, but it's worth it. It's worth it. Okay, hold on a second. Little technical difficulties out of the way before we get really started. Actually, I'll just put this guy up here. Streaming is hard. All right, here. Let's try this. Let's try this again. There we go. Okay. So when we last left our hero, Total Biscuit, the half Ossar dog man, he had just gone to the milking stall because we wanted to see how much milk we could make. But until people start arriving in chat, if they ever do, there's not much point in hanging around here. So we'll go out and get some fights. All right. Okay, talk to Augram, get my weapons back, check the old inventory. Oh, I got some silicone. And let's get in our ship and get out of here. Storage. Valuables. Store. Nope. Consumables. No. What? Oh, it counts as equipment. Okay. Let's get the fuck out of here. Man, didn't we, that's odd. I thought we had unlocked, Tarkus, which is the next planet. Let's go to Tavros Station. Maybe it's in our, actually, yeah, maybe it's in our email. Extranet Messenger. Okay. Galactic Huntress. This is that Australian thing. Credit Crash. Stock News. Heading to Menga. Advertisement for the bar. What happened to all our progress? Did we, I think this might be the, might be a bad save. Oh. Yeah, this is some stuff that we've done before. I wonder, did it not save correctly? Anyway, yeah, we'll definitely take this 9-foot chimeric scientist lady on the ship. Well, this sucks. Azra has joined your crew. Nice. Well, let's see, okay, first let's... Oh, I keep forgetting. Okay. Smut. You can check out some smutty videos on the extranet. Yeah, let's do that. Steph on demand. Oh, cool. Okay, so this was that email was about. Well, this is new. I have to buy them. Okay, so I guess you can collect them by looking at them in each planet. That's cool, but nope, we're gonna just go. We're just gonna jerk off. We're just gonna jerk off. Okay, if that's the case, then we have to go beat what is it, Dean or whatever he's called again. Wait, what? How about her? Let's see. Hello there, Offworlder. Hope it's not too rude to your people, but my brother Mika and I were just admiring you for a moment. I was wondering if he might sample you. Okay, so there's a bee woman. My brother just positively gifted the Silboy gas to touch. Nah. Like that, the incestuous pair of Zill are gone, leaving you alone to continue your journey with an offer to hang out with... Come visit us. Okay, so they're still available at Bert's. We like to hang out there from time to time. Could always use the company, especially from Offworlders. You know what I will do? I'll go to the bar and I'll watch this. Okay, so there's different people. I'll watch the screen and then we'll collect these episodes. I like this new avatar of. I like most of Ajatha's work. Really, all of it. So it's pretty cool that they save these now. The Nailing. Okay, so this is her going into the lower jungle and getting bitten. Cum soaked. Oh shit. Well, I've been walking around cum soaked the whole time. That's fine. That's fine. Did I unlock the... Yeah, let's go here. We should have visited our... Should have visited our girlfriend at the police station, but whatever. And this guy... Let's see, what is this guy? Does he have any... Flamethrower, I already have that. Vanai Maiden. Okay, so this is the weaker version. Let's see, we got any... Okay, let's go. Spray. I think we're going to be pretty powerful for this stuff. Yeah, she's dead. I like it's like, would you like to run cowgirl? Would you like to do any of these things? It's like she'd be burned from head to foot. I don't know if you guys have ever seen like footage of, or like pictures of people who have had acid thrown in their faces. I don't know. I don't know if I'd really go for it if, no offense to you if you're watching this and you've been burned by fire or acid, but yeah, I don't know if I would hit that if she had just been burned from head to toe with a flamethrower. I think it'd be really difficult to, well, whatever. Anyway, let's get out of here. So yeah, they barely give any experience was an indication that we're not going to have too much of an issue here. Now this place over here is, whoops. This I don't think is the fight. There's a separate darker jungle that we have to go to, which means that our shortcut really isn't much of a shortcut at all. Alright, bamboo container sky sap. Let's see, how much is that stuff worth? 5. Oh, which means you'll sell for 2. Oh, well. Okay, so 5 minutes isn't enough to do any real healing. That's fine. Oh, you can harvest sap. Uthra sap. How much is that worth? Still barely anything. Burn these people. Static burst. Spray. And there we go. Oh, I know how to... Yeah, if we had beaten... What's his name? We would have had... we'd be using that electro blade. So, yeah, we forgot to save. No thank you, Mrs. Venus Pitcher. A Naline. Oh, this thing's gonna be toast. Anything from the light green jungle really can't oppose us. Naline nip. Is that worth anything? Nope. A dryad? Huh, I don't think I've ever seen this before. Oh my goodness. We got droplets of water fall from higher up on this verdant, almost claustrophobic jungle? Dungle. Source lies to the south. You can hear a high-pitched, frantic voice. Sounds like someone's in trouble. Hi, listen, maybe you've heard this one before. I really need to fuck some before I go mad. These gene mods are great, but the ones I've used kind of clash, and now I go into heat multiple times a day. Can we just fuck? She makes puppy dog eyes at you. Maybe she has puppy dog eyes. Maybe that's one of the mods. Pointing a giant equine cock in it. Give her... Nah. Is she gonna fight us? No, she just leaves. Alright, so coming up is the actual fight. So let's get rid of our lust. I know there's another save file there, but that was one that I was just screwing around with on my own. It's not the same as where we left off, so... Alright, let's go. So we encounter our cousin. We're gonna be like, yeah, let's fight. Oh, Dane. I think I said something like Duke. So here's Dane, and they have, before they just had Gats, now they have J Echo. So this guy's supposed to be, he's a four-armed cross between he's a cross between a what are those little dogs? Those dogs that molt everywhere, like Tolo's dog. I forget the name of it. Anyway, he's cross between a dog person and General Grievous, because he has these little blades that he spins with 4 arms. But that's okay. He whispers, "Prepare your anus," but we're just going to spray him with fire. Let's see, paralyzing shock. Yeah, get wrecked. He can barely do anything to us. And he's gone. Alright, gain barely any XP. Oh, that's a decent amount of credits. And then we got the shock blade. And then she runs away. Alright. Oh yeah, and we got another 10,000 credits. Who are these people anyway? I usually skip this. Over 3.5 hours as you pass. What's taking so long? Mechanical. Oh, okay, so these are the people who are, yeah, the pickup crew. And then she, starts talking about characters that we don't even get introduced to. I guess they're going to keep coming back every time we do this. Alright, so. And they pick up the thing, but then we don't get to go. So we have to walk back. Fight, nailing. Spray with fire. Spray with fire. Spray with fire. There we go. There we go. Cunt snake. Dang it, what is it with the guns? Guns have like no ability to kill these things. And I was asked to leave these things alone. Oh, there's a dryad again. Nah. Get out of here. A mango. Yeah, I'll take it. Alright. Let's visit our girlfriend over here. What? Oh no, you need 33 or above. Well, let's talk. Touch fluffy tail. Alright, there we go. What's down here? Scrapyard maintenance. Let's see. Shock blade. Yeah, we should equip that shock blade. Just for the hell of it. Can we sell this spear for anything? Oh, that's pretty good. Wait a minute. Inventory. I think I might sell the shock blade actually, because I like really high accuracy on things. I hate missing. Missing is stupid. Yeah, I'll sell the shock blade. I should have kept it just in case, but whatever. Let's see, is there anything worth buying? Jeff. Leather armor. Nailings. Oh, okay, so cool. We can get better. No, that's not much better armor, though. That's +2 defense. Bra, panties. Might as well buy this. Okay, and sell the old armor. Oh, this has drug and tease resistances, though. Damn. We should actually... I just wasted that money, but... The resistances are probably more important than... in that case, I'll just sell back the stupid armor. Well, there, I just lost a ton of money. Such a good businessman. It doesn't matter. Oh, we already did that. Okay, so let's go. All right, new planet. And distress call. Yeah, let's do it. Let's move in. Pirate attack. Okay, you angle your ship around the Phoenix, pushing it between you and the pirate vessel. With those grappling lines, the enemy shouldn't be able to move around and engage you, at least for a few minutes. It's all you need to close the distance between your ships, using the docking thrusters to guide your vessel in through the field of wreckage left over from the ruptured hull. Da-da-da. Basically, you get on the ship. Alright. So we're inside this thing that's been attacked. Let's go. Computer. Oh, alright. Oh, shit. Okay. Let's see. Before you can finish speaking, the ferry's holographic avatar sizzles and pops, overloading the rest of the ship's systems. If you're here to help, please have to get to the bridge and turn the shields on. That'll stop the atmosphere from venting. And you might invite... Okay. Let's do it. We don't need to know who she is. Let's go here. They've got Horsecock Hell 2, A Tale of Two Twats. This person's like me. They just leave pornography on their desktop. Okay. Turn on the shields. There's the button under the fuzzy dice. Pirates must have shored the systems out. There's a flux coupling behind the bulkhead in the captain's quarters. We have to reroute power from there. Okay. Dildo. Okay. I should just rest on this ship. Flux coupling. Okay. That's life support for the rest of the ship. The parts that still have it. You need something else to rewire the ship. Okay, that's fine. Let's find it. Cargo doors are sealed while life forms are still inside and the atmosphere is drained in the recreation room. Okay, well. Let's go there. Let's look at the discs. Oh, we actually get Horsecock Hell too. Nice. Hey, you know, this wasn't for nothing. Okay, so... okay. Okay, right. Yeah, gotcha. We're in old point and click adventure territory here. You know, it's a big plastic dildo, so we're gonna use it to as a shock resistor while we work on the coupling. Okay, let's go. Nice. And shields are up. Maybe, yeah. You did it. No more pirates are getting aboard while the shields are up. If we're lucky, their ship won't risk firing on us again while the crew is aboard. Now let's go rescue Captain Elilia. Alright, let's go. Got some pirates. Be ready for a fight. Who the hell is that? One of the pirates shouts. I don't fucking know. Just shoot him. Oh, shit. Oh, wait, what? Oh, this must be the captain that we've, okay, she snakes out of cover, but, alright, cool. Okay, specials. Deflector regen. Okay, so we're going to, spray Pirate B, who has already been hit by Sandra. Okay, not bad. We recovered shielding. Wood Pirate A is disarmed. Oh, okay, she has some Some kind of specials. But she's spreading her attacks out. And so are they. Well, but she has a ton of HP. Yeah, this is going to be easy. You can't connect. Alright, hang on. Okay, I'm going to shock Pirate C, so there's less DPS coming our way. And he's still paralyzed, that's good. So one's disarmed, one's paralyzed, and then the one in the middle is going to be dead soon. Okay. Alright, so he's back in action, but his friend... I'm just going to go ahead. His friend is dead. There we go. And they're focusing most of their attacks on her. Okay, we got this. Okay, so he's paralyzed. We'll just finish this guy off, I guess. Oh, he's disarmed as well. Alright, we got this. No problem. Alright, oh, and you don't have to choose when there's only one opponent. Okay, cool. Here we go. Oh, no. He's still got a little bit of health left. Alrighty. So much for the pirates. Let's take a look at our new friend. Oh, that's cool. They got a lot of options here. We'll stick with good old Adjatha. Alright, last pirate drops under combined assault. You blink hard, your ears ringing. Checking to make sure. And make over your way to the captain, who's slumped down on the floor clutching her side. Okay. Who are, she starts to say, but stops in mid-sentence, grimacing in pain. She lowers it without much resistance. Help Total Biscuit boot the engines. I gotta get to the cockpit. Get us out of here. Alright, so we gotta take care of her injury. Oh, that's a pretty... I guess that's not that much XP for us now. That's not bad. And some credits. The ship can't take much more. Come down to the engineering deck. We need to get the engines restarted if we're going to make out of here. Dun, 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 dun. It's playing the escape music from Super Metroid. And I got a new email. Let's read the email. You can huge dick today. Awesome. New email from Tainted Corp. Yeah. Not far from the elevator shaft, a small console. Showing Valeria's hollow avatar. Go to engines. Okay, the power reading is flashing a great big 0%. Spooling up the engines now, the power converters. However, you need to guide to the sweet spot without going too far. We need to hit 45%. Okay. Let's go with that. 33. So that's another 22. Seven. 33, 22, 7. 33, 22, 7, and 40. And we needed 45. So... oh, shit. 33, 22, 47? Was it? Okay, hang on. 16%. Okay, hang on. Let me write this down. I'm not going to remember it. 33, 22. This one's 16. One of them is... this one's 7. I can't math in my head. Okay, if we go this... Oh, what? Oh, shit. And then, was this 7? Yeah, there we go. There we go. Easy peasy. Is there a... Did that video get posted successfully? Yeah, just people aren't into it today, I guess. Okay, cool. Let's look at the cargo. We won't steal. We won't steal from them. Stealing's wrong. Alright. You're a real lifesaver. The Phoenix can cover you for a couple minutes. Go back to your ship and get out of here. I'll try to limp back to Tavros Station. Alright. Oh, well, we're done. Well, we made a friend. That's good. Alright, so this is a giant, it's like a dust planet with a city and a giant ship. And we got a new email from Sandra. Let's check it out. Thanks again, your lifesaver captain. I just got patched up by the docks on Tavros. Speaking of loss, old Lefty was pretty mangled by that shotgun blast. Had to lose it. Good news, I've got my some new chrome. Oh, her arm's fucked up. Could have been a lot worse. I lived through it thanks to you. I owe you a drink and maybe a little bit more. Alright. Well, people don't seem to be into it today. I might just stop. It's just not fun to do. It's just not fun to do when there's nobody around. Yeah. Fuck it. Should probably get back to work anyway. Oh, hey, Matt. How's it going? Okay, now that there's somebody here, I'll go. I'll keep going. How you doing? We just got into a fight with some pirates. How's the game going? This game is going all right. This game doesn't go bad. I mean, I don't. Well, I mean, there are bad endings, but whatever. It's pretty simple, but. And if you're asking about the other game, that's going fine. I mean, everything except marketing. I'm gonna put out a new demo today. I think I might have gotten the fluid dynamic system working again. At least I think I know where the problem is. And I can reuse the same script I was using before, but the prefab needs to be rebuilt. The components need to be put in place again. But yeah, I sent off this error dump file to the people who made the fluid system, and they got back to me and said, okay, well, here's where we think the problem is. So it should be enough to help me debug it successfully. But so that'll be working. And I also spent a ton of time making haircuts and skin textures and stuff, so now we can change all that stuff on the fly in game. But I'm not going to give away everything for free. Just every time we upload a new demo, it's going to have a new randomly generated girl. Can you hear me okay? Is my volume all right? All right, so let's enter the ship. Alright, let's exit. Alright. Okay. Looks like our cousin is taunting us. Alright, so this is a giant spaceship city, like, what is it, that city from Fallout 3. Alright. Let's take a look around here. Oh, up here you have Dr. Badger. Not Megaton, Rivet City. The one that's on the aircraft carrier. Or is it is it an aircraft carrier or a battleship? I think it's an aircraft carrier. Yeah, if I remember correctly. I guess I don't remember correctly. This is when I get my summer job. I'll see about sending some money on Patreon. That's fine. I mean, it's... Don't feel too obligated if your financial situation is as bad as mine. Yeah, there's planes on it, yeah. So here's Dr. Badger. This is, see, I operate a little outside the law, and I wouldn't want to run the risk of someone running off and telling the authorities. You're not one of those hero types, are you? And we're going to say no. This might be a bad idea, so I like that it warns you. You know, I just realized this does a better job than, speaking of Fallout games, this does such a better job than Fallout 4, right? Fallout 4 will give you 4 different ways to say yes to everything, right? And then it won't explain, it'll just be like one word. But this, because it has the tooltips, why don't they do this? Why don't they do this in multiple choice games? Like, okay, you'd have up, down, you'd have that context-sensitive response thing, but if you hold it down, but don't commit to the answer, you can preview a little bit. You know what I mean? It's like, okay, like, you know how, see, because here's the thing. Mass Effect had the same problem, yeah. So, when you look at games like Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Old Republic would print out, like, your entire... Like, this block of text would be speech option 1, and it would print out every single word you said verbatim. What they need to do is have, like, up, down, left, right, and then if you, like, hold the directional... Okay, so, like, the buttons on the controller, if you're playing with, or whatever, you have your buttons that commit to an answer, and then you can hold down a directional button and preview, and it'll show you everything that you actually say to eliminate the ambiguity. But then it's also still concise if you just have a general idea, or if it doesn't seem like a very vital response. That would work really well. And it's just a tooltip, it's not rocket science. But yeah, so bad stuff happens, so we're going to say no. So let's just shop. Now she sells. Let's see what the job offer. A job? Why would I take a job from you? Why, for science. If you really want, I'll just pay you. So fine. If you really need more mundane incentivization, I'll just pay you. Let's see. Wait, you respond. Are you saying you want me to kill a UGC officer? Oh no, of course not. What a senseless waste that would be. No, I'd just like you to give the lovely officer here some other priorities. Maybe a nice, obedient disposition, together with a positive opinion of me. And of you too, of course. Bimbo ray gun. Penny is on... Oh, wait. It's our girlfriend. Okay, that's my latest creation. My portable, personalized Badger Bimbo Ray. Patent pending. It's specifically calibrated to work on this officer. Penny, stationed on Menga. So all you need to do is point this at her and click, and the wonders of science will do the rest. And as far As for how you should go about it, that's up to you. But if my information is correct, you might find her more amenable to the concept of becoming a big-titted Fuda cum-slut than you might think. Oh, and before I go, it's specially calibrated to work on Penny, so don't try blasting away at the wildlife. All you do is drain the batteries. So what do you think? Should we sell Penny up the river, or... Or would that be disloyal? Dr. Badger has some really weird stuff for sale. Curious to see what it'll do. Yeah, alright, let's do it. Sorry, Penny. Are there multiple, people don't make multiple vistas, they just make, multiple characters. Alright, let's save first. Yeah, but anyway, I'm having a hell of a time getting the word out. I might want to like I might want to put this the news about the game up on 4chan or something like that. I need just news of it to go viral somehow. Matt says, love how in these games consequential violence is never really an option, just various kinds of rape. Well, before you got here, I was going around. My flamethrower is my primary weapon. And I was saying, you know, it always gives the option to have sex with people that you just horribly burned. I mean, it's just, yeah, I don't think that would really work. It reminds me of how in the later Fallout games, whenever you get jibbed by a weapon, you don't actually get blown apart. You always lose exactly one limb. You always lose one leg up to the thigh, or one arm. You never lose everything, and you never really get blown apart. I don't know if that changed that in Fallout 4. But, yeah, you'd get hit with a flamethrower and your leg would just fall off. Yeah, charred corpses. I'm sure that there's someone. I'm sure that there's someone. Okay, so, poor Penny. This is who oh, I know who she is. You could talk with Penny about this to see what her opinion is on the subject. Should we announce our intentions? Should we just shoot her? Okay, this seems like a jerk move, but if nothing else, you'll be pretty sure she'll enjoy the end result, as will you. Penny would probably have the same opinions about Dr. Badger's plan. Who knows, maybe she'd be into it. Or maybe she'll have some ideas about how to turn the tables on Dr. Badger. What should we do? I don't know, what do you think? I think warn her. Okay. I'm gonna warn her that someone's out to get her. What's up, Total Biscuit? You decide the best approach is the best. What? What? The best approach is the best. They really need someone to edit this. Have you ever heard the name Dr. Badger? She thinks for a moment. Yeah, that name does ring a bell. I think there was something about someone named that, some report or something. What a great investigative officer. She turns to her computer and does a quick search before answering. Ah, gotcha. There was a bulletin put out about her a little while ago. Some mad scientist type. We're supposed to be on the lookout for. I remember thinking she was too extreme for Xenojin. Then she must be really wild. I thought about chasing her down, but there's no information on where she is now. Just that she was reported to be somewhere in the area. Plus, I can't exactly leave my post to go hunting for some big catch. Yeah, maybe it's good that I didn't go after her. It says here the official advice is not to try to bring her in with anything less than a full squad. Apparently, last time someone tried to do it single-handedly, she wiped the floor with them, all sorts of illegal mods and subdermal strength boosters. She stops suddenly as something occurs to you. Why do you ask? Have you had a run-in with her? Do you know where she is? Yes, apparently she's worried that you could bring the authorities down on her, so she asked me to use this on you. She made it specifically with you in mind, apparently, so it won't work around anyone else. Penny's expression is a mix of confusion and shock. The fact that a renowned and dangerous criminal is targeting her specifically enough to momentarily overcome her tough persona. Why? What does that do? She called it a bimbo ray gun. Having met Dr. Badger, I'm pretty sure it does exactly what it sounds like. There's a pause, one that goes on slightly longer than you would have expected. For a second, you could swear that you see a slight blush spreading out on Penny's fur. They're always into it. They're always into it. Before you can do anything more than register that, though, she self-consciously scowls. Well, thanks for not doing that then, Total Biscuit, obviously. That would make it pretty hard for me to do my job if I was just some kind of sex-crazed bimbo. You get the distinct impression that the eye definitely had some appeal to her. But she's a bit too committed to her job to go along with it. So what should we do now, you ask? Penny's eyes were a little unfocused. Well, I guess our first option is doing just what she's afraid of. I could put a report to the vet, and I'm pretty sure HQ's in his vet. Even she wouldn't be able to get away. Or... Well, normally I'd have left it at that, but if she wanted to make it personal, maybe we could see about turning the tables on her. I could look around and see if I can find anyone to modify the weapon she gave you. See if we can get it to work on her instead. Sound like fun? Okay, so in order for a consensual zap, it seems like we have to do something else. It's probably better to play it safe. Get Penny to report her. Okay. So we could turn her in. We could turn the tables. And then we can't back out of it. Turn tables for sure. I kind of wanted to see what it would do to her. Oh wait, but you know, it might still work on her later. So yeah, we'll go. Turn the tables. Penny has taken possession of the bimbo ray. Okay, so I think that now she can use it on herself if we can talk her into it. So we could have our cake and eat it too. Leave it to me. I'll let you know when I've found something. Then after that, we'll have some fun and show her that the peacekeepers aren't something to fuck with. For now, you just need to sit tight and wait for Penny to get back to you. Alright. I wonder if her art changes with it. Maybe. Okay, so, let's, report Badger. Let's, there we go. Get it. One last time, because this might be the last time we can, do this with her. Like, it's like, you know, it reminds me of, when they were about to give, when they were about to release the, what is it? Cataclysm expansion, and I was saying, oh, you know, this might be the last time we, you know, see the old vanilla map, but of course there were still vanilla servers out you could go back to, but I just was you know, walking around the landscape saying, oh, this might be the last time we go to this version of the Desolace, or this version of the Barrens. So that might be the last time we get to irromate that version of Penny. So, let's see. Let's go, oh yeah, let's visit this shop. Oh, you know what? Let's go to the bar. It catalogs these things. Okay, let's go to the bar. Bert. Collectibles. Oh yeah, that's right. He buys these at better prices than, You ever heard of Zill? There's a giant race of wasps or bees, honeybees. If you find any of their artifacts, bring it. I can beat the price of any. So there's still. You know, I'm just gonna sell this stuff. Fuck it. Oh wait, no. Sky sap, Uthra sap, no. Oh, okay, so he doesn't want this stuff. Why do they even show it here? Yeah, that stuff will never disappear. Yeah. We'll take out a drink. Shitty beer, honey-based mead, some kind of exotic, expensive brew. You know, we got a lot of money. Let's exhilarate. This clearly isn't the kind of drink you just slam down, so you relax as you run. There you go. Get a taste of what it must be like to be a CEO with money to burn on life's finest things. Of course it makes you horny. Why not? Alright. Okay, well, let's just talk. Yeah, well, whatever. I don't really care about him. I don't really care about dudes. You've gained a coupon for Estrabloom. Oh, nice. Okay, let's enter the ship. And, we'll sleep and hope for, we'll sleep off our hangover. And, oh, Celise, yeah, sure. There's a... Since she's made of goo, you can actually sleep naked inside her. And see, this is the fucked up thing. We could do this all in 3D. We could absolutely do this. We could just take a 3D model, right? Put some translucent shaders, right? And there is nothing that they do in this game that we couldn't do in Renfield. I can't find any backers. What the you know, it's the funny thing. Like, everyone else finds a way to monetize whatever it is that they do, you know? I mean, I guess it just takes a while to build a following for anything, but it just seems like someone could be on Twitch or YouTube or some other kind of video or streaming service and just be eating their own boogers, and they'll find a way to monetize it better than I have monetized Renfield. Because, like I said, all the shit in here, there is nothing that they do in Corruption of Champions or Trials in Tainted Space that I couldn't do in real-time code with 3D models in Renfield. Obviously, because this is text, that they'll always be able to produce content faster than I will, right? But the point is, you know, I'm amazed that there aren't more people who are eager to see that, you know? I think there's a porn game on 8chan you could add... Oh, really? I'll check it out. Yeah. See, I'm not much of a channer. I don't really go to 4chan or 8chan, so I don't know. I mean, if you go in there and you're like... Because I know everyone's, you know, supposed to be anonymous. If you go on there and you're like, hey, I have this thing, will everyone just shit on you and be like, how dare you advertise yourself? Or does nobody care? I mean, like I said, I'm just amazed that there aren't... I think once word gets out, depends on the board, I guess. Yeah, and it might just be worth enduring the slings of arrows of some people who complain if there's a silent majority that actually says, oh, you know, I'll check this out. I mean, it's just words on a screen. You know, who cares if some people think it's in bad taste, right? But yeah, I mean, it's amazing. You know, you have people who will pay these really expensive fees to commission just 2D art, just like pencil sketches and shit like that. And then it's like, well, you could do that in 3D, in real time, with internal cum shots. And they're like, nah. Yeah, so we're gonna sleep in her. There we go. Okay, so we slept, let's go down, let's, report Badger. Oh, well, talk. by Throb. Cum Sluttery. Fudanari. It said we're just supposed to wait to hear from her, so I guess we'll just go... Guess we'll just go back to the planet we're supposed to be on. So anyway, what else is going on? New email. Oh, this is new email for someone on the ship. Oh, yeah. It's just Celise messing with the computer again. Okay. Fly and go to Tarkus. And we should probably... Oh, well, we can master... I was going to go back to the ship to get rid of the lust, but we can always masturbate once we get outside. Alright. So now we're in the wilderness, which means we can just jerk off anywhere, because, you know... Channers are probably your prime target audience, Matt says. Furries, too, to an extent. Yeah, furries are extremely generous. Furries are extremely generous with, almost to a fault when it comes to this kind of thing. Can you masturbate? Okay. You can't masturbate in town. You can masturbate, on the ship. And you can masturbate out in the wilderness, because nobody cares. But you need a certain amount of lust to masturbate in town. But then, I don't know, it might be a crime. We could try it. I don't know if you get flagged as a sex offender by the UGC. A silver object. There's a strange silver glint in a pile of junk. It's a foot. Why is this silvery foot poking out of a pile of half-broken pipes and shattered hollows? Female foot? Male foot. Everyone in this fucking game is a sex offender. Yeah. Yeah, you move into a neighborhood and you're like, you have to go to all your neighbors and be like, yeah, I'm required by law to tell you that I'm a sex offender. And they're like, oh yeah, thanks, so am I. And then there's... Female foot. We'll make it a female foot. On closer examination, this definitely looks like a female foot. The real question, though, is if you want to dig it up and see what this is. Of course we want to dig it up. And it is a robot. Once you notice her silvery artificial hair draping across her face. It is tied back in a loose, messy chignon, knotted at her lower back. Her eyes are closed, full womanly lips pursed as if merely asleep. Alright. Now let me show you what... Hold on a second. I'll take this to the ship. So we're taking her to the ship. You leave her for a while and wander the ship. There's no point. Hang around till she's fully restored. So here's Bess, right? So we can keep on ship, sell off, report to the authorities because apparently she's illegal goods, dump them, release them, keep it Tavros. We're going to keep on the ship, okay? Keep on the ship. Although she's worth a fair amount of credits, but we have a lot of money. I don't have an official designation yet. I will just stick with Bess. We're not going to... Do you have... I don't know if you got a name we want. Whatever. Okay. So, she says, okay, says... my insides are filled with a liquid called meld milk. By increasing or decreasing the amount in certain parts of my body, my form can be inflated or deflated to tailor my appearance to my mistress' tastes. Should name it TB's... Oh, shit! I should have called her Jenna. No, it's already fucked up enough that we named him after TB. Like I said, as much as I love edgy humor, I'd feel kind of bad if, like, you know, his fucking widow comes onto my channel. Is like, this guy's a monster. No, I'm not gonna. Jenna bot. I left a post, you know, everybody's been complaining about the latest Star Wars movies, and they've been complaining about everything, and with good reason for the most part, and after they had that stupid feminist droid, which people can't decide whether or not it was a parody of feminism or whether it was actual, an actual radical feminist robot. But I said the next time they have a droid comic relief character, they should just call it A1D5 or AIDS. And like I said, the most amusing thing of all is they made this character, which is the radical feminist robot, and neither radical feminists or people who hate radical feminists can tell whether or not she was meant to be a parody or not. That speaks volumes about that movement, right? For or against, no one can make the distinction between the parody and the actual thing, right? And then what is it? This guy I watch said that he was the only person who clapped when she got shot in the theater. So anyway, I can retract, grow, or recolor my hair, change eye color, and grow appendages in order to fulfill your sexual needs. I also have several special modes that can be activated or deactivated, such as sexual roles or the flavor of my cum. Now, see, that's one thing that we can't do in Renfield. That is one thing that we can't do. I could make it an interactive. Matt says, I'm pretty sure for real they can't call it a parody with the shit they pull in these movies. Yeah. But anyway, this guy said he clapped when she got shot with a blaster. Yeah, the one thing that I can't do is in Renfield to say, okay, well, there's different flavored cum. I could say, okay, hey, Volomancer, welcome back. Yeah, so anyway, we'll move on and show you. Okay, so she says you can also purchase special modifications and clothes. Okay. A beep draws. Penny has sent you a message. Okay. You better go see her. Okay, now let me show you this. Let me show you this robot that we just got, Bess. Or G... We should have called her... Yeah, we should have. We should have called her... I should have stopped being a wimp. We should have called her G3N4. Or, Jenna. I don't know. I should have thought of it then. It's too late now. It's too late now. Okay, so crew... Bess... okay, there's no point in doing only half a diagnostic text. Okay, so, we're gonna have, okay, so have sex. I'm glad to report you're fully functional sex-wise. I'd say you're above the optimal standards. Okay, several hours and lots of sex tests later. Oh, I forgot to put the dash between the G3 and then... Damn. And it's too late to rename the bot. Okay, crew. Bess. Event map. Map of your interactions with what? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's cool. Status in progress. Hints. Okay. Discuss. Bess. Can't rename her. Damn. Let's see. Anyway, let me show you something. Functions. Okay, now here's all the functions of our sex bot. This is the best sex bot since Fisto from Fallout. Okay, so titles. Change the names of what you call each other. Change whether she's dominant. Yeah, titles. You can change her name. Oh, shit! Well, you can change her name. G3N4. There, now she's a droid. Okay, but anyway. You can change your title, her title, your sex name. So, honey, sexy, babe, your name, mistress, princess, lady steel, mistress, text. Now you see there's some empty spaces here. Watch this. Watch this. Role. Dominant. Titles. Now we have new titles. We have, in addition to the ones we already had, we have bitch, slut, cum slut, butt slut, slave, and little one. So you can program in whether she's dominant. You can also program in if she's abusive dominant. And let's see, that's pretty good. Yeah, I know. This is pretty cool. Role, submissive. Titles, your... My queen, ma'am, mommy. Oh my god. My alpha. Okay. Body shape. Chest. Okay, let's say a breast size. We'll go with I cup. And then it has this long scene as she, her breasts get bigger. If there were custom title options, well, I mean, you can mod this game. Volume Answer asks, how often does this game get updated? Fairly often, although that's kind of relative. He says, I played it about a year ago, and it didn't seem... It's gotten... Okay, I can't remember the last time I played it. It's gotten a lot of new content. There's like half a dozen planets now. There's I guess 100 unique NPCs, and then a bunch of generic... Hey, Niche. Welcome back. No, they've done a good job. I mean, this has been Phenox's primary focus, and they've added a lot of new stuff. Like, okay, there's a lot of projects that are Patreon backed that I'll look at and I'll be like, fuck, man, this doesn't seem that impressive, and then it's making a shit ton of money in donations. I would say that Phenoxo and his studio that he runs is one of the few that I would say deserves how much he makes, because they put a lot of work into this. They put a lot of work into this. So anyway, now you can change hair, color, length, and style. But here's the thing. Improved tits, can't complain. And we can mod this. Like I said, they post well, I mean, we could make a game like this from scratch, as I showed during that educational stream that nobody wanted to watch. The stream in which I humiliated myself by forgetting reference syntax. But here's the problem with doing 2D art, right? It's a really... I like Adjith's style. This is a really nice design. Watch. Change the color of her hair. What's somebody pick a color of hair. Oh yeah. I don't think you missed much, Uncanny. If you're not interested in learning how to program, I don't know if you'd like it very much. Because I'm very cyan. Okay. Cyan. Her hair has changed color. Now, I'm not... Let me be clear. I'm not hating on this game. I really like Corruption of Champions. I really like Trials in Tainted Space. I really like games of this genre. I like text-based and low-end graphic things. But you'll notice, this isn't like a character viewer. It's just a single sprite, right? And this is one of the limitations of doing 2D art, right? We could change... Okay, let's change the hairstyle. Spikes, messy curls. Well... What is it now? Right now they said it was a chignon. A chignon. Let's see. Spikes. Styled in spikes. Oh, except that it's not. So, in a 3D game like Renfield, like any other, you can actually change these things, right? You can actually dye your hair. You can actually grow your hair longer. You can actually change your breasts. These things will all change. And it just amazes me that people aren't, I can't get people, interested in it, When you do shit in 3D, when you do shit in 3D, the initial investment and the initial work is a lot more. But the payoff is a degree of modularity that realistically is much more difficult to express in 2D. Now, you can have layered sprites, so you can do that in 2D. You could have, all those different hair colors and hair lengths, right? But you'd need unique sprites for each of them, and then you layer the sprites onto it, right? So you can do that. It's not rocket science to do that. but few people bother, right? Few people bother because it's 2D art. But like I said, all of the things, like the eye color, the only thing that we can't do is change the flavor of their ejaculate. Let's see, we have I guess normal would be like normal, like a human would make. Chocolate, vanilla, strawberry, and honey. What should we, we could instruct the player to have these things ready at their desk, right? And it's like, okay, when the game gives you the prompt, drink a little bit of your chocolate milk. And, take a fleshlight, okay? Take a fleshlight, rinse it, and disinfect it very thoroughly, right? Let it dry, okay? Air it out a bit. And just drink some chocolate milk through it, right? But you can't, don't do it until your character on the screen. Okay, yeah, okay, you know how the fleshlight is like the tube. What you do is you kind of seal up one end, right? And then you pour it in. It'll probably hold maybe a couple ounces, depending on the size of it. And then you lick it out, right? You lick it out according to the flavor. And then it's fully interactive, right? Well, there's this. What is it? Want to taste food off your phone? Get the Maxis... Hold on a second. Let's watch this.
We know you love taking food pictures. You certainly like it more than having your...
I think this is Indonesian. Dr. Nunyan Tong? I didn't realize Nunyan was an actual... This entire time, Nunyan Singh from Star Trek was an actual... Khan Nunyan Singh.
Food warm. And I think food pictures are great. But the first world problem is, we've never been able to taste any of the food in them. With the new Maxis screensaver, we think we have that problem licked. It takes on the flavor profile of any food item on your mobile screen. So for the first time ever, you can look at your food pictures and taste them too. Just be careful what you taste. How in the name of all that's tasty does this thing work? Here, let me show you. If you get a microscopic view of a screensaver sheet, you'll see that it's made up of pigment-containing cells called chromatophores. Specifically, these cells are taken from an octopus, an animal known for being able to change color as well as being very, very delicious. So when a picture appears under the screensaver sheet, the chromatophores change color to make an exact replica of that picture. But how do we get the flavor? Now that's where this little marvel of biomechanical engineering comes in. It's a bionic nanochip. We made it by fusing this smart chip with cells from an electric eel. So now the chip is able to create bioelectrical pulses that make the chromatophores release oils which taste of whatever they look like at the time. Lick off the oil and taste the food in the picture. Nice. Now you can do more than just look longingly at someone else's food. Try everything on the menu before you order. Taste the food at a famous restaurant without being on their waiting list for 8 months. The Screensaver. It'll be the tastiest piece of tech you'll ever own. And it's available to you now, exclusively from Maxis. Reserve yours today.
I can't tell if this is a real product or a parody. I'm assuming it's a parody. Yeah, it's gotta be a... Yeah. I wish this is actually real. Oh, this is like years old? Okay, yeah. Like, that would be amazing. Like, it could have been like a product that they thought worked. Take a picture of your cum, and then, yeah, there you go. If you had that, wouldn't there be a I don't know. The smell one is actually real. Matt says this one is fake, but he saw something about a real version that came out in 2017. Yeah, I mean, like I said, it wouldn't surprise me if they were trying to do it, but I doubt it would actually work as advertised. Like, I could... It was like... it seems like they're taking the piss because this seems like it's too good to be true, but at the same time, there's no real humor in this video. Like, there's no... it's so low-key, or at least it's very dry. Do you think it could end hunger in Africa? Well, no, because that would actually be fucked up if you gave people in Africa, like, here, you can taste food that you can't have. It reminds me of those memes that people will post about Zimbabwe, and it's like, they'll put the timeline, and it's like, such and such a year. Mugabe kicks out all the farmers. Then the next year, Mugabe begs the farmers to come back, and then, you know, mass starvation in Zimbabwe, and then the next they could add, you know, the United Nations gives a bunch of taste phones to people so that starving Zimbabweans can taste food. Actually, that'd make it so much worse, because it wouldn't just be fucked up teasing them. Like, your stomach would create more gastric juices if you tasted food and thought at long last you were eating, so it would actually speed up your own death. That seems... Volumancer seems like some Logan Paul shit. Yeah, that seems like something he'd do. Well, you know who's the ultimate troll when it comes to that shit? The president of fucking Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro. This guy, his country is starving, and he has refused people any food aid, and he snacks on live television during his presidential addresses, and he tries to be slick about it, but I don't know if the guy's just dense or what, but he'll be like, everything's going fine, don't believe any rumors you've heard about people, and then he'll he'll swivel in his chair, and he has like some kind of, I forget what kind of, he has like a little snack. He has a little snack in the drawer of his desk, and he pulls it out, and he munches on it a little bit, and then he puts it back. And he's still like picking his teeth with his tongue as he turns back and addresses a nation of people that he's like a modern day Holodomor. It was just ridiculous. And there's still fucking these sheltered ass, North American commies on, every, just infesting every social media platform who will still support them. Or they'll say, oh, it's not, I don't mean to get too political on a stream that's fucking about, robots with chocolate covered vaginal mucus. Did I say chocolate colored? Chocolate flavored vaginal mucus. Yeah, I don't mean to get too, it's actually, what? Gold, oh, because of the way, the finesse, yeah, what, you know what I mean. Welcome back, Rekonzichi. Chocolate colored is something else. Yeah. But anyway. Yeah, so no more politics, for now, at least. Not for me, anyway. But yeah, that's ridiculous. It's fucking... That's just... such a cliche. You can't even make this shit up. Someone just H stands for... Yeah, that's right. Their phonetics are a bit different. Well, anyway, whatever. So, like I was saying, with all due respect to the people who make games like this, like Trials in Tainted Space, Flexible Survival, I mean, I love stuff like this. But it is unfortunate that they don't support full character viewers, and dynamic character viewers like they used to have, because there really is no reason you couldn't, right? It'd be a pain in the ass, and I guess they figure, well, our products are already successful without them, so why bother? It would be a pain in the ass, but you could do it. But I'm doing something like that in 3D where, everything is customizable, everything about your character and so forth. And I've got 50 different hairstyles. And then the hairstyles have things where you can modify the length, and you can also have layered colors. Like you could have like one of the first character that anyone commissioned from me. It was this fox girl with the silvery white ponytail, and then the wisps at her temples and the tip of the ponytail, it blended from the silvery white to this phantasmal, eerie blue, right? And then, of course, you can animate the hair so it bounces and sways and has gravity and so forth. I mean, you can do so much. You can do so much. And I'm just the world's worst businessman, because it's going to be a great product, but I just can't get the word out yet. Matt says, I think some people get off more on just the text-based sex anyway. Well, that's the other thing, is I do like the text-based thing, but there's no true dichotomy there. You can have, okay, let's have sex with a sex bot right now. Well, I mean, the point is, you could have the animations playing, and then it can also have the description of how the other person's cock feels, or how their vagina feels, and so forth and so on, right? So I think that Uncanny Matt says, like, I find text-based stuff infinitely more hot than just normal porn vids. Like I said, yeah, the text, like with hentai, like see a lot of hentai mangas, especially artists. Okay, like for example, like your typical hentai doujin, it might have a little bit of narration, but most of it is dialogue of the characters talking. But when you have those things that are like collections of artist CGs that are full color, they tend to do a lot more narration. That's a little bit more like this, where it talks about what people are thinking, and it describes things, and because usually it's full color, they don't have as many individual images. So what they'll do is they might have an archive of like 200 individual panels, but there's only like 15 individual images, and then the text changes. And I think that's probably what would be good for your typical Renfield scene is, you'd have the characters, and they'd be in 3D, and there'd be the slapping sound effects and the moaning sound effects, and then the camera changes dynamically, right? The camera in Renfield, like, it'll pick what it does is it picks a body part at random, and then it uses that as the focal point. And then it'll either stay put, or it'll rotate slowly, or it'll pick a point, and then get the what is it? It'll get a perpendicular angle for it, and then just sort of pan from side to side slowly, right? So it's like watching an anime video where the camera constantly changes and focuses. So like one might be right in her face, and then one might be distant, and then be rotating and so forth, and it keeps changing. Right, but then in addition to that, you can also have the text overlaid, right? That the actors communicating with each other. It could have them, like I said, these descriptors. It's like, okay, let me functions. Wait, no, discuss. Spend time. What the? Oh, it's because we don't have enough lust. Yeah, so I mean, we could absolutely have. You can absolutely have text, and I even made a string concatenator that randomly generates different moans and strings them together. So it's a unique runtime moan generator in text, right? Because I love procedural elements, but You said it's infinitely more hot than normal porn vids. Let me tell you something. Normie porn is an atrocity. The average, I mean, like, someone, I was talking about, like, sex mods, and this one fucking idiot was like, I don't understand why people go to all that trouble. Why don't you just go watch porn? And I thought, because normal porn is horrible. It's absolutely horrible. I out of curiosity, the last time I checked out normie porn, I clicked on some video, and the guy wouldn't stop moaning. And I was tearing my hair out. You know how some people will yell at the news? Like, people who are really partisan, they'll watch, MSNBC or Fox, and they'll yell at people. And it's like, oh, I can't shut up, you idiot. You know how people... I yell at porn the way highly partisan people yell at the news, right? Because I'll be like, oh yeah, this girl's kind of cute and her moans are kind of adorable. And then the guy's like, oh, he's making all kind... And I'm like, shut up! I don't want to hear it. There is not to be homophobic at all, but there's a separate section for that kind of thing, for people who want... That should be a tag. That should be a tag. I can't... You know what? And the thing is, like, I can't stand guys. I can't stand guys in porn because they're always disgusting and scabby and out of shape, right? or whatever. It's just, I can't stand. And then the camera will focus on them, right? It's like, and it's just, I don't. It's like if you're eating something you like and then someone just dumps some tuna fish right in your ice cream and you're like, what the fuck? Why did you do this? I am guilty of that in some videos. Of yelling at it, or of being the yeah. I mean, or they'll be the video will be focused on the girl, and then suddenly it'll cut like to a close up the guy's disgusting, greasy, pimply face being too loud. But I mean, Jesus Christ. Female-focused porn tends to have much more fit. Yeah, that's the thing. Female-focused porn tends to have much more fit and attractive men, Matt says. And it's like, I don't know if it's like some latent homophobia on my part. Like I said, and don't anyone get the wrong impression. I'm not, when I say homophobia, I'm not talking about intolerance in terms of anybody's lifestyle. I hope that goes without saying for people who watch the channel and know me. I'm talking about homophobia in the sense of personal discomfort. When you have male sexuality kind of shoved in your face, Matt says, I think that's the ugly bastard fetish a lot of people have. I don't get it. I don't mind, like, monsters. Like, you can have the most disgusting, horrible, slimy monster, as playing the role of the male, in that encounter. But I don't like, I think they call it gonk, where, yeah, it's like the ugly... That's horrible. Yeah. I mean, for Renfield, I'm trying to get reasonably attractive men, right? And see, this... Hold on a second. Let me show you my... Hold on a second. There was a thing... Now, everyone, don't get uncomfortable. Agreeing with me on this doesn't make you gay. But, where was it? I was, Orochi. I hope you guys can still see this okay. Okay, so this is an upcoming game. These games, the Warriors games, I know they're not very deep, a lot of people scoff at them, but they've been a guilty pleasure of mine for a very long time. And they're coming up with, and I'll even post this. Niche Brown says, it's like walking into your bedroom to find a friend naked while his girlfriend is in the bathroom. Matt also says, he thinks it's the degradation aspect of a fuck ugly guy banging a hot woman. Yeah, I get that aspect of it. I just don't want to look at it, right? They could have the guy, like, in shadow and, just describe him as... Okay, so let's see. Can you guys see this okay? All right. So, these models are basically what I use as a baseline of what our goal is in terms of attractiveness, right? For male and female alike, I think that they're pretty good without being, I don't know, too over the top, if that's a thing. But I would consider I would consider them to be I would say the males especially. Damn it. I would say the males especially are a lot better than what you. First of all, they're a lot better than what you see in your typical normie porn, because normie porn, like I said, is awful. It's just fucking awful, and I don't see the problem with having attractive. Because for me, it's the opposite. It's like if I'm going to have a fantasy where I'm in the male role, having sex with a beautiful female, I want to fantasize about me being attractive too. I want to self-insert into a character that is, I wouldn't be disgusted by myself, right? So, like I said, I'm trying to establish male characters that hopefully will draw in a reasonable female audience, and of course, Renfield will have gay and lesbian options and relationships and so forth. So, I mean, like I said, for both genders in terms of their hetero audiences, guys, some guys at least really like lesbian stuff. A lot of straight women like gay male porn, and like I said, I'm not proud. If people are willing to commission it, I'm willing to make it. So just make them look like girls. Anyway, but yeah, it's important to me that we have male characters that aren't just disgusting. But like I said, I don't get grossed out by even the most horrific looking monster, but out of shape guys with like hairy beer bellies and then what's with the fucking tattoos? Just random ass tattoos of spider webs and Chinese characters that don't mean what they think it means, and she's like, what the fuck, dude? I just can't. Normie porn is awful. So anyway, so for those of you who just got here, Matt was here first, so I let him make some decisions on behalf of our character, and we, oh, that's right, we need to go talk to, are we on, what planet? Oh, we're on planet Tarkus. We need to go back to, we need to fly back to, Manga. Anyway, so we're on Manga now, and let's keep our lust. I don't think we're going to get into a fight. So we were commissioned by an evil scientist to betray our Fox police officer girlfriend, but we decided that instead we would help Penny. We're going to help Penny turn the tables on the evil doctor. Okay. Have I got a nice surprise for you? Oh, what is it? Well, you know our mutual friend, Dr. Badger? Yeah, we talked about it moments ago. I guess it's a couple of days of in-game time. You mean the mad scientist who wanted to... Yeah, I'm familiar with her. I guess I shouldn't gloss this over because some people have just gotten here. But this explains what happened. You mean the mad scientist who wanted me to turn you into a slutty bimbo pet? Yeah, I'm familiar with her. She blushes a little bit at that, but nods. Well, I found that she's got some sort of nemesis. There's another doctor just a few buildings up from her, her on Nova Home that is apparently just as smart as she is, but the two of them do not get along. I already think I know the character she's talking about. Seems a little weird that out of all the planets in the Planet Rush, the two evil scientists wind up right next to each other on the same one, doesn't it? She shrugs. Nova Home is one of the most lawless places. Is the most lawless place out of everything this rush has uncovered so far, so it kind of makes sense that they both wind up there, although I'm sure they're not exactly enjoying each other's company. So here's the plan. Take that ray gun thing to Dr. Lash, yeah, and he'll reconfigure it to work on Dr. Badger instead of me. I haven't contacted him myself because he's also a wanted criminal, so I figured he wouldn't be too receptive to a UGC peacekeeper messaging him. But I talked to some of my contacts, and they're pretty sure he'd agree to it if that means shutting down Dr. Badger. So that's the plan. Take this gun to Dr. Lash, and you can finally see it in action. Okay, and, talk, touch, fun, okay. Yeah, let's have some, there we go. There we go. Okay, so, anyway, this gives an example. Yeah, like the dialogue, this could I mean, there's no reason why we couldn't put dialogue like this, where she's like, claim your right, I'm a lewd little fox-hungry fuck. Like right here, your cock plows her pussy wide open as you ram. There's no reason why you couldn't, the desk creaks with each ass. Yeah, you could put this text overlaying the animations. There's no reason why you can't have text above and beyond the animations. And you know, that's the problem is, a lot of people, you know, there's this company called Illusion that makes games that are considered the sort of top of the line Japanese age games, and people are always looking forward to the next one, and they spend a lot of time customizing the characters, but they tend to get bored of the game itself really quick, because all most of them are just, you know, animation playbacks, right? They don't have story right here. So what I want to do is integrate story and narration and a lot of stuff like that, so it's like the best of both worlds. Like, you have Illusion, which is very high-end, but they don't spend a lot of time on unique dialogue and story. For a few games they did. For a few games they had like visual novel style things. I forget what, I think Premium Play Darkness had several different stories, and they were relatively minimalistic, but like they established the characters first, which I think is always good. You know, it's like, again, going back to normie porn, if there isn't some kind of role play, it's just not the same. It's just nowhere near as good, you know. Porn without any kind of a character establishment or things like that, it's like a steak that's well done. It's a bit of a waste. Would you ever consider full-on voice acting? Probably not, because first of all, the people I paid to do the moaning, the moaning sounds for Renfield, first of all, they fucked it up. They fucked it up, and the audio quality was just shit, right? The audio quality was just shit. There's too much echo. It's horrible. It's embarrassing. But second of all, these girls could not act their way out of a wet paper bag. It would be cringeworthy. It'd be absolutely cringeworthy. No, I edited out anything that they actually said because it was terrible. Reckon says, yeah, Illusion stuff is all about customization. It's like the most basic roguelikes, create your own story. Yeah. Yeah, I'd like something that has a lot of story and narration, so people really feel like they're... And again, going back to that moron who was like, oh, why don't you just watch porn? Why go to all that work just for a pregnancy fetish? Some people just aren't connoisseurs of this thing. They don't appreciate how great it is when you have, sexual elements that are fully integrated into the story and the fantasy of it all, right? It's like there should be a continuum of those things. It should feel like I want a game where it really feels like, I mean, like Witcher 3, but more explicit. Like there's real gameplay, there's real establishment of the characters. You feel a connection both to the character that you're using and to the character that you're involved with. But like games like The Witcher and Dragon Age, their sex scenes are just kind of really cringy and anyway, I want something that feels like it's a real, quote unquote, a real game, a proper game that just has explicit and detailed sexual content and scenes. Like, you know, there's the scene in Witcher where you're like with one of the sorceresses. I think it's Yennefer. And Like they're like, hey, let's have sex on the back of a taxidermied unicorn, and I'm like, yeah, that sounds pretty cool. But then like she takes her shirt off and her breasts are just made of concrete, you know, and it's like, dude, well, whatever. But yeah, there's no reason why we couldn't do that and do it properly, right? And in Renfield, I already have the breast physics working, and it's not too over the top, right? It's not too over the top. It's just a nice, believable, natural jiggle, and it looks pretty good. I do have to calibrate it so that like the same amount of softness doesn't look good on breasts of every size. But that's just a matter of refining it. Okay. So, let's go talk to Dr. Lash. Oh, and that's the other thing. I don't know if you guys have played a lot of Unity games, but what you can do is Unity games are inherently they have this streaming assets folder, right? And what you can do is you can let it, I mean it's basically for mods, because some Rex says. Or you could just go like SFM porn makers and animate boobs by themselves. SFM? I'm drawing a blank on that acronym. How far into the game is this character? Volumeancer asks. We're only on the second combat planet. Oh, source filmmaker. Yeah, you can make a separate breast animations, but I like things to be dynamic. But I mean, you can use a combination of those things. You can have, for example, you can have an animation of the breastbones and then have blended jiggle on top of that. Right. Yeah, we're not very far. We're not very far at all. We're only on Tarkus, which is the second combat planet, and then so you have you have Manga and Tarkus. Then you have New Texas and Tavros Station, which are the like mostly town planets that aren't combat focused. Although you do get into fights on with these stupid things that eat your money on New Texas. Okay, so we're gonna go down. Hopefully we won't get into an actual fight. I probably should rest up, but I'm just gonna go. Reckon says, but Witcher porn scenes aren't dynamic. Why bothering with physics? Yeah, but I'm talking about something it's quite different. And besides, well, yeah, I'm talking about scenes like that, but like you can just about have sex with almost anyone, assuming that you meet their requirements or whatever. Also, you know how Geralt has the mind control magic, the sign. It would be a thing where a non-sorceress or someone with no magic protection, you could just use the sign and seduce them. Which wouldn't make a lot of people happy if they found out about it, but I mean, it's fantasy, and this is an evil version of Geralt, presumably. Okay, so I don't think we want to go up here. He might have already... If we go talk to Dr. Badger, she might already know us. But down here is good old Dr. Lash. It's a pretty popular fetish. What, the magical seduction thing? What were you referring to? Hypnotism. Yeah, it is. Simene. Oh, and I don't know how many of you have ever read the Witcher books. There was actually a wizard in, I think it was the very first book that was Volumeancer says, be careful, Noja, you might trigger the SJWs. That might be the best thing that could happen to me, to be honest. That might be the best. I mean, I don't put content into something just to be edgy, but I will say that If some SJW were to be like, oh, there's this game and there's this evil pervert who's blah 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 blah, that'd be the best thing that could happen to me, because it would be the solution to my marketing problem. Reckon says, just read the Witcher books. Sometimes it feels like porn fiction. Yeah. But yeah, one of the it was the first Witcher book. I forget the title, but it actually has this wizard who has a tower, and inside the tower, it's like a holodeck, right? It's like a holodeck, and he, like, from outside the tower looks tiny, but when he lets Geralt in, it's the wizard sitting having tea and snacks in this sunny field of flowers, and it's like in its own separate space because he's hiding from this someone who's trying to assassinate him. And and the wizard is great. He just says, "I don't give a fuck how many innocent people get killed. I'm just gonna hide here in my holodeck tower." But yeah, like I said, for a modest fee, whatever we want. It's like you got your own little holodeck. We can put whatever we want into Renfield. And okay, so anyway, real quick, I've been to this part of the game before. Dr. Lash and Dr. Badger are like the yin and yang of the sex-making doctor NPCs. Dr. Badger is all about oversexed modifications and sells all kinds of things that make people just hermaphroditic sex lunatics. Dr. Lash is the opposite. He makes things that reduce your size, eliminate genitals, reduce your libido, and so forth. So he is the exact opposite, right? So and he also has a thing. He also has a little trap question here. You aren't going to make a mess in my lab, are you? Are you? No. And then there's no tooltip here, but no, we're not going to make... Okay. Well, at least one individual on this rust ball is capable of using her brain to overcome her hormone soup. Okay. Alright. So, that's neither here. What is important is I can free you from your meddlesome genitalia and distracting breasts for a price. What do you say? Okay, now, right now, our character isn't a true hermaphrodite, right? Because right now Total Biscuit has a 4-inch dick, but he also has breasts. So should we get rid of the breasts or get rid of the penis? That's an option here. Anyway, this guy can kind of help you if you're kind of hermaphroditic or some kind of in between genders. He can help you at the very least get rid of what you don't want, right? So that's an option. Should we go for that right now, or should we just stay out? Just accept ourselves for who we are? For now, we'll say no, but that's an option later if we want to get. I think I changed my mind. Okay, so, talk to Dr. Lash about the ray gun Dr. Badger gave you for penny sieving. Okay. So, you say hesitantly, you know that doctor who set up just across from you? Doctor, he answers, and you get the impression he'd have spat the word with distaste if that didn't seem like too much of a waste of perfectly functional saliva. Calling someone a doctor implies they add something to the universe, that they use their intelligence to improve technology, or at least people's health. And not, as Dr. Badger does, actively try to reduce the intelligence of the population, all the while increasing their damnable licentiousness. Uncanny Matt says, how much more do we want to... yeah, how much more do we want to disrespect this dead man? I don't know, we could just take his dick off. We could just take his dick off. Hold on, the phone's... Okay. I don't care about the phone. That definitely answers for what he thinks of her, you think. Out loud, you say, well, what if I told you I've got a way we can take care of her? Dr. Lash gives a short, sharp rasp of a laugh. Please, I've tried to encourage her to move on myself in the past, but between her strength implants and the variety of mechanical traps she's got set up in her shack, all of our previous encounters have been little better than stalemates. He leans forward, the light of his goggles dimming slightly as though he was narrowing his eyes at you. And what makes you think you could succeed where I failed? He's clearly trying to be intimidating, but you've seen worse by now than some six-armed scientist. Standing your ground, you shrug nonchalantly. Well, she gave me this ray gun to use on someone she wanted taken out of the way, you say, taking out the gun and showing it to him. And I was thinking, wouldn't it be a shame if I just happened to zap Dr. Badger herself with it instead? Okay, of course, it's so simple. Why didn't I think of it? She's protected from physical assault and any sort of electrical incapacitation too, no doubt. But she wouldn't make herself immune to her own technology, or else she couldn't keep making herself so ridiculously sexual. So if we turn her weapon against her, then we'll be able to... Okay, so we see where this is going. Okay. A trivial procedure, he says. Reprogrammed bimbo ray gun. Alright. Okay, there we go. So, we're going to go up here. I'm probably going to... I'll save the game first. Okay. Here we go. And we're going to talk to Dr. Badger. Okay, and she's trying to sell us some happy pills. Nope, we're going to zap her. Okay, Dr. Badger looks up as you walk over to her. So then, is it done? Is the good officer happy and obedient rather than a potential obstacle? You smile coyly. Actually, I wanted to clear something up with you first. Remember when you asked if I was a hero? She visibly tenses up, her eyes narrowing, but she's curious enough with where you're going with this to let you continue. Yes? Well, I thought I'd show you what a hero is really like. In one swift movement, you pull out the ray gun, pointing it squarely at her center of mass and pulling the trigger. A bright blue shield flares up instantly in front of her, but the soft pink beam of the ray gun seems to go straight through, bathing Dr. Badger's body in its warm glow. After the brief moment of this reactive shock, Dr. Badger grins, clearly amused. Oh dear, she says mockingly. Here I was thinking you were coming at me with something serious. Something that would be worth me burning out an emergency shield generator to defend against, but instead what? You thought you'd try and shoot me with the gun I gave you? That's the one I'm pretty sure I told you wouldn't work on anyone but my target. That is, like, not a smart move. A confused expression crosses her face quickly, but she shakes it off as she advances on you with a threatening grin. Now I've got to show you how I deal with being double-crossed. She's right up next to you now, and you've kept the warm pink beam from the ray gun on her this whole time. Feeling a bit off, you tease? Thoughts of your elaborate revenge not coming quite so quickly anymore? Only now realizing that you should have made your shield block your own gun if you were going to give it away, when there's a whole universe of people smart enough to reprogram it? That was definitely not a smart move. Grimacing, she pulls back one fist to prepare a powerful punch. But before she can bring it forward, her sensation... before she can bring it forward, her already large tits jump outward by a full cup size, and the unexpected wave of jiggling sensation that provokes her... Jiggling sensation that provokes drives her to her knees. She tries to speak, but it takes her a while to get words out as her lips start to expand, quickly becoming big and plump. I thought this was going to neuter her. Instead, it's doing all kinds of weird shit. Well, shit, she says eventually. I guess you win this round. I thought he was going to... I thought in like a fitting revenge, Dr. Lash was going to... make a neutering gun that would neuter her and not allow her to make her, because she's like a hermaphrodite herself with like a giant. Anyway, you grab her chin, pulling her muzzle up to look at you directly, keeping the beam aimed at the rest of her body all the while. Oh, I think I've won more than just this one round. I think this particular victory might last for some time. She whimpers as she falls backwards into a sitting position, her cock straining upwards as her hands can't help but drift unconsciously towards it. Looks like she's pretty much at your mercy. Alright. I have to get up for a minute. Does anyone have any music requests? I'm going to put on music while I'm away so that you guys aren't bored. I'll try not to be long.